Yes, it's that time again, time for more angry PBA bowlers. If you can believe it, we're now on to part 6, and it seems people just can't get enough of bowlers getting angry and throwing outbursts on TV. Just like with my previous videos in this series, we have several angry moments to look at, and I'll let you all decide on your favourite. There's going to be some familiar faces in this one, and perhaps one guy who you might not expect to be on this list as well. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Number 1, Walter Ray Williams Jr. and the camera flash.
Troublesome lane 4. Something wrong with you? Wow. Thanks. Believe that.
Gotta be a fan, we believe, who must have said something, some kind of noise as he released the ball, and you could see how upset he was. And an open flame, unfortunately, for Walter Ray.
Watch how soon he pulls out of the shot. Either the fan said something or stands up. And there's, oh, it was a flash picture. Unbelievable.
Now, Walter Ray to me normally seemed pretty composed and is not really someone you'd expect to get angry on TV. But there was an incident all the way back in 2002 at the Empire State Open, and Walter Ray was playing Chris Barnes in the semi-final. Walter was up by 5 and working on 3 strikes heading into the 6th frame. But you can see as soon as he released the ball, he pulled up and something had distracted him. It turned out it was a fan flashing a camera just as he's about to release the ball, and Walter understandably was not happy and shouted over at the fan. This camera flash cost him as he went through the nose, leaving a split, and it would mean that Chris Barnes would win the match and advance. In the past, we've seen a PBA interference rule where a shot can be retaken if a fan clearly interfered or distracted the bowler, but no such rule was in place on this occasion. Very unfortunate for Walter here, and you can certainly understand his angry reaction. Number 2, Jason Couch versus Patrick Allen.
Oh, some late action for number 7. Got hit twice. You talk about walking into somebody's wheelhouse. This is Jason's wheelhouse, and he hit himself over the holiday break. Patrick Allen makes the ball change with his equipment, and he gets some help too. How about 6? Falling there on a late tap.
It might be his house, but I'm knocking.
Watch the 2-pin go to the wall, come around. Here. Throughout this event, and today...
I'm knocking, baby. I'm knocking. I'm knocking. I'm knocking.
He just called JC out. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. Knocking, Hoss. Keep knocking. All the timing, all the symmetry.
Perhaps not so much of an angry moment, because I think there was a touch of lightheartedness between these two, but all the same, both are fierce competitors, and there was some great trash talking going on here. You saw early on Couch say, "This is my house," which prompted Allen to call him out and say, "It may be his house, but I'm knocking." And of course, Jason Couch would respond to this himself and talk a little bit of smack back to Allen. Both of these players were always great fun to watch, as they both love to be very vocal and give some trash talk to their opponent. But for Patrick Allen, his comment probably wasn't the best move, as Jason Couch is literally the last person you want to get fired up, as he will absolutely give it back to you, and it just seems to make him bowl better. And Jason would actually end up winning this one and taking home the title. Number 3, Anthony Simonsen. Our next outburst comes from Anthony Simonsen, and this is a recent one coming from the 2024 USBC Masters. It was during the double elimination bracket, and we saw in the clip that Simonsen was not happy and gave the double middle finger. You might think at first this was directed to Matt Ogle on the right hand side of the video, but actually this was directed at J.R. Raymond, who was 4 lanes to the right of Simonsen and was out of shot on the video. So what exactly did J.R. Raymond do to provoke this response from Simonsen? Well, let's just look again at the second clip. And yeah, I mean, this is it. That's all JR did. Clearly, he didn't do anything wrong, and apart from anything else, he was 4 lanes away from Simonsen. So clearly this outburst from Simonsen was pretty unprofessional, but to be fair to him, JR Raymond did say on social media that Simonsen reached out to him with an apology, so there's certainly no beef between these two, and this one was put to bed pretty quickly. So yeah, don't get your hopes up for a big feud between JR Raymond and Anthony Simonsen, but even so, this outburst was a clear contender to make this list. Number 4, Anthony Simonsen again.
But when he got into match play,
somebody's phone went off over here.
When he got into match play, things changed, and he found this little trick where he could go a little bit straighter and kind of stay out of all of the traffic on the doubles telecast a few weeks ago.
Oh, no.
So he hates it. He has every reason to. That is known as a Greek church.
Come on, man. They ask you to do one thing when you get here, and that's turn your phones on silent. That's all they ask you to do.
This has a worse percentage conversion than the 710. And all of a sudden,
one fucking thing they ask you to do.
we apologize for that. A little bit of language there, but Simonsen is understandably frustrated, and the...
Now, I'm not trying to pick on Simonsen, but there is another outburst from 2019 that made this list. It comes from the title match of the Players' Championship against Jason Belmonte. It's the 4th frame, and Simonsen was up by 23 pins and working on a strike. He starts his approach and then comes back off as someone's phone goes off. He resets but puts it way inside and leaves the Greek church, and then proceeds to show his frustration verbally towards the fan. Now, I'm not sure if the fan's phone went off again during Simonsen's approach after he reset. Personally, I couldn't hear anything, so I think this was just Simonsen complaining that he had previously been distracted by the phone and the fact that he therefore had to come off the approach and restart. Then when Simonsen sat back in his seat, you could hear him swear and drop the F-bomb as well. Now, clearly this was a very frustrating situation, but at the same time, he did have the chance to reset after the phone went off. This open frame opened the match right up, but in the end, it would not actually cost Simonsen, as Belmonte left 2 pocket 710s in the match, including one in the 10th frame, which meant Simonsen would take home the title despite this distraction. And that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this one, and yeah, I mean, I might make a part 7 in the future, but I kind of running out of angry moments to choose from now, so unless we have a whole load of very angry bowlers on TV throughout the 2024 season, it might be a little while for part 7. And if you haven't watched any of my previous Angry Bowlers videos, then make sure to head over to my channel and give them a watch. That will be all from me for today, and as always, thank you bowling fans, and see you all next time.